How we doing, people? My lovely people, Kegus Storylines followers. I think we can do some justice today and bring everybody up to speed in relation to the Tanzanian beauty story, Angelina. You don't know, it's a true love story. And you've been following the story since last year, when the story began as I visit my friend Hamadi. I had finished my studies in Kenya. I am returning back to Uganda. I make a decision to visit Arusha. This invitation had been given to me by my friend, whom we had been studying together in Nairobi. Tulikuwa tunasoma pamoja, tunakaa pamoja. Christian Boys Hostel, Pumwani. All right, I kind of say, okay, not a problem. I can go and visit Arusha. Something to leave me with memories, because I knew I wasn't coming back to Kenya. I was returning back to Uganda. I finished my studies. You all know the story, how I made my way via Namanga border. 2 p.m. arrival time, Arusha bus terminal. And I'm met by Hamadi. They have a shop, a very big shop in the vicinity of the bus park. And he's very excited to meet me. And, of course, commiserations. Hey, sasa we Muganda umekuja kuniona, blah, blah, blah. You know, that excitement. And then we walk towards their shop. And, he was busy. He was busy in the shop. It's the dad's shop. And it was a very big retail shop, and in between that, I decided to have a walkabout. I said to him, ngoja kidogo mimi nitembee kidogo hapa nione mali fulani. I was excited, Arusha back then was a very small town. Pretty much everything within the radius. So I went about and about and about and about. So I picked up cues on my new surroundings. This is going to lead to one thing after another. So those who are asking, how did you meet Angelina? I met Angelina on that very day, that very moment when I walk around. We caught eyes of each other. She was walking with the mom. I think they were around shopping. And then, out of curiosity, niliwasalamia. I said, hello, habari. But the way I came across, pretty much, ilikuwa tofauti. I sounded different. I didn't look like I was Tanzanian. I looked, and these things happen. And these things didn't just happen. She was very beautiful. She was with the mom. We were shopping around. And then we had a brief conversation. And during that time, I told them I'm with a friend. Nilikuja hapo kwa Arusha. Tulikuwa tunasoma naye pamoja, blah, 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 blah. Then that was it. That was it. It wasn't like it was meant to be. Then, later on that evening, are you following me? Hamadi aliniuliza, sasa huyo lineani. He was surprised that I knew people. I said, nilikuwa siwajui, nilikutana wao watu. No, namjua huyo. Hamadi knew the family. Hamadi knew the family. And Hamadi knew Angelina. So that was it. That was Friday. And then things would take another direction on Sunday when the Hamadi family was celebrating. They had walikuwa na party. They had a party. And then Angelina, long behold, turns up with the parents. You can imagine how close. You can imagine how this came around full circle. Now I'm going to get wrapped up in the dynamics of what would be a relationship that would sweep me off my feet. I'm in Tanzania, people. Hey, I'm telling you. I am telling you this story because ilikuwa tofauti. It is one of those things that just happens to happen. I did not have any intention to meet her. I did not know her, and she did not know me. But that would change the direction of my holiday. And as you've been following the story, it was a very, very exciting moment meeting Angelina again. And we had time to talk, and we had time to dance together. And then that was the beginning. Now, as you all know, that night, Angelina, she slept over. Movie money, unajua hizi maneno. I'm staying in the guest wing of the Hamadi's residence in Majengo. They have a very, very nice house. Very nice house. Very nice house. So, after the party, Angelina, things were done. Things, hii mapenzi ilikuwa imeshamaliza. It was obvious that there was love from everything that was happening that evening and that night. And that would later on change the direction of my visit. My intended time to stay in Arusha was 2 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Monday I was supposed to be returning back to Kenya to continue my journey to Uganda. So everything changes from there. And the love story begins. Yes, a serious love story. So the next 2 weeks, I'm in Arusha, checked in at the new Arusha hotel. So the first week, having decided to stay longer, Angelina makes a trip to Dar es Salaam. Family business. She was in her dad's family business. She's recently returned back from the United States. She had finished her studies. She had finished her studies in the US. So she's the only daughter. She's come back and she's going to be running things. You're talking of a billionaire's daughter. She's not somebody just about. So she had flown out. She had flown out to Dar es Salaam. So I'm like, I didn't know what was keeping me in Arusha now. Sasa nirudi kwake hii ama nigojeye? Should I wait? Should I do what? I've been caught in between. But she would return by the end of the week. And with all the apologies. But we were communicating. She was ringing me at the hotel. Back in the day, we didn't have mobile phones. So usually communication had to be arranged. Sasa alikuwa na simu ya hoteli kila jioni ananipigia, tunazungumisha, usijali, enjoy your holiday, enjoy Arusha, usijali, nitarudi, I'm coming back. Then her return back to Arusha has grounded me into an emotional, you know, a hornet's nest. So I wanted to really, and remember, our first encounter was filled with chemistry. Chemistry. When you feel like you wanna hold hands, you wanna do this, you know. Sasa mniulize, ask me, mlishatombana, did you make love? That's what we want to know. Abada, Ajoy, we did. But it was that intense chemistry that we had built that later on, upon her return, she would check in with me. She would stay over with me for almost 2-3 nights together. We are in the hotel. So that was the beginning of the love affair. There was no going back. There was no going back. There was no going back. And that would culminate into the Ngorongoro. The Ngorongoro, you know, you have to see places. Arusha was very intoxicating. Arusha was this place where, you know, you have the tourist trail, you have the Kilimanjaro mountain, whatever. And this is going to come back later after the visit. So the visit is all about me being introduced to the family. I thought it was going to be something just about, but it turned out to be something bigger than expected. That, to me, and more or less Hamadi was surprised by the way things were too. And I was humbled, honestly. You know, you don't just come into people's private lives and then they take you in personally and then they open their family to you and all that, unless it's going to be bigger than big. Tulisha tunapendana, we were in love. You know, you say, we were in love, I can't tell you, Angelina. So after the introduction, it is like, okay, you know, we longed for something exciting, not similar to the previous Ngorongoro. We thought about either, I didn't know Arusha very well. There are many places to see in Arusha, very, very many places. It's a tourist region, it's a tourist town. Okay? So we are going to have a tour, or we toured different places before the climax, when we had the long trail up the Ngorongoro. It was a day trip. That is when I'm bitten by a snake. It's a close shave. I am bitten by a snake. I've never told you this, and you're going to see more drama coming. It just couldn't add up that 2 weeks I had extended my stay in Arusha. We are now going to become precarious. Let me tell you people, if you ask me, you say, Kegusi, how are you? I'm fine. You're in a hurry today.
I'm finished. I need to go.
That's a nice jacket.
Thank you. I've had it for so many years.
I'll check
I've
with
had
you
it for
about
like
it.
10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
It must be a good one.
It's nice.
Beautiful.
Nice stuff. It's obviously.
Yeah. Nice weekend, eh?
You too. I'll see you next week.
Okay, dear. All right. Yeah. Now, I tell you, I am bitten by a snake. And that is going to bring me deeper into the love affair. Because it became something else. I'm in the hospital, I have family coming out, everything. I'm swallowed up by her family. They wanted to make sure that everything is okay. Hey. But we're going to go places before that. The exciting bit of things that we did prior to that day. Okay? Because the story is still going on. The story, how I got caught up in all this holabola of events that would render my circumstances precarious. I tell you people, it's not easy. It is something. Okay, when I returned to Uganda, let's talk about this. And ultimately falling in love with Bettina. You know the Bettina story. We met at Stia's restaurant. I was in a situation. I'd pulled a flat tire. I needed to get my car off the road. She's in the restaurant. I come to her attention. She's willing to help me to bank some money. I had lots of money on me. So she says, okay, I can go and bank the money for you. And that would begin a dossier of love. That is the story. Love with Bettina the campusser and General's daughter at Stia's restaurant. She's a campusser at Makerere University. So you can see that there's a lot that was going on in that story. A true story as well. It's a drama where you always have a story to tell. And in Kenya, my relationship with the Kenyan beauty began on the very first day I arrived in Limuru, Maharishi International University, Tigoni campus. The very day I arrived in Kenya at the university is the day I met her. It's the day we met. But we didn't talk. We got to know each other later on. Later on. Later on. Do you know what I mean? She had been, let me tell you, let me see. She used to come to the campus to see a friend who later on I found out was a close relative. This friend was working at the university. Yes. The Kenyan beauty. And then we began talking. We became friends. Alafu alianza kunifundishwa Kiswahili. She would bring me books. We would go for walks, talking. It's a long story. You go back. It's written. It's a long story. So you can see where everything is coming from. And where everything really. So anyway, let's go back to our Angelina story that you all are hooked on. After the visit that night, I returned to the hotel and I'm thinking through what is coming next. And I knew I would have to talk this over with Angelina, that I am due to leave. I've lived out the 2 weeks. I need to return back. She said, no. You have to see some places you haven't seen in Arusha. There are so many exciting things to do in Arusha. And okay, all right, that's fine. I wasn't in a rush, but it could probably be the reason that would keep me longer. So Monday, Tuesday, we are going to go different places. Then come Wednesday probably. Then we go for the trek. And then the chapters will continue like that. So those following the story, thank you very much. You've done it very much, the honors. Because it's many years ago. 1997 is how many? 30 years ago? Okay? Yep.